We're taking the sign to the park right now. It's not as early as I wish. I slept in by accident. So there are going to be people in the park, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm not waiting till tomorrow. So check it out. Ta-da! You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where the plants used to be, and they're not there anymore, which means I have a big, beautiful open space, even though I miss my plants already. Little kitty showed up. Hi, baby. There's my kitty. She's my kitty. So anyways, we've got sage. Still some milkweed, but it's gonna be turning yellow any day now. And that's where the lotus used to be, but it never took. And that milkweed's fallen over. But we've got lots of milkweed and so many seed pods. We have like 100 seed pods, so we're going to be planting a lot of milkweed. I'm going to do like a little workshop where people plant the seeds. My apple tree, my jasmine, this is my willow bonsai, some mints, some thyme, some basil. What else? I'm so excited to have set up the garden in the park, which I paid good money to register. I got a certificate and a sign. Here's my window garden with like little cactus and succulents and some basil. Here's my actual lotus, which is doing really, really well. I don't know if I should change out the water, but I just haven't. Here's my other real willow tree bonsai. Look how big it is. This was like a stick, like a little magic wand, and I stuck it in the ground. Wow. This is my milkweed nursery, which has lots of seedlings. So many seedlings, but honestly, they kind of stopped growing. Like everything in my garden has pretty much just frozen. My milkweed with lots of chew marks. I hope that the caterpillar is still okay, but I haven't seen him in weeks. My dragon fruit cactus. Back there, my burdock for the painted ladies, which I just ordered more of, even though it's the end of the season. What else? Jasmine cutting. Those have been in the ground in the little pots for like months, and I finally bit the bullet and cut them off, so hopefully they're okay. Sage, azalea, gardenia. These cuttings are not doing as well. I haven't seen any growth on them. More seedlings from the nursery that have stopped growing. Anyways, some cuttings, which I think took but are not growing. Are you noticing a trend? Everything stopped growing because it's mid to late September. I cleaned out my jasmine. That whole thing was a big messy pile of mint that had like flowered and died. I found a little milkweed underneath. It grows up, and I'm just training it up the trellis because I want it to be like the morning glories, which are doing fabulous. Look how pretty, oh my goodness. Don't you just love morning glories? They're super invasive and they would take over my garden if I let them. My compost, that's my favorite part of the garden. Just look at the jasmine. It kind of died last winter, so it had to start from scratch, like the roots. So I only got a couple flowers this year, but I think next year, if I take good care of it this winter, I think next year we're gonna have lots of jasmine smelling flowers. See, look, this is what I'm talking about. This is morning glory, so I gotta like, you know, it tries to attack my plants. It comes from behind. So how do I rip this off? Being very careful not to hurt my plants. All right, so now we got them. Oh my goodness, there's a whole bunch back there. So I just take all of the stuff that I just ripped out and I throw it in the compost. That's where all my dirt came from. More mint. Oh my God, we are just overflowing with mints. And I killed like, I didn't kill, I had like 6 plants, big plants, and they all died. And I was like, let's get rid of it. And then in between all of my milkweeds, like these little baby mints started popping up. So now I have like a million mints. Strawberry, oh my goodness, look at the strawberries. And my sister's aloe, which started turning brown, but then it's green again. So we're gonna, my neighbor, I had to be quiet because my neighbor came out and I don't want to talk on the phone around my neighbor. Now we're going on the other side of the house to show you the front of the house. I used to have sage there. You can see the little spots, but it was too dry. It would, the leaves were drooping every day. So that is a jasmine cutting that was doing well. I don't know, we'll see if it keeps growing. I put it in a better spot. This is my milkweed in the front of the house. No monarchs laid, I mean, maybe they laid eggs, but no caterpillars ate the leaves at all. So we've got a couple milkweed seed pods. That'll be good for planting. And then I guess when it's snowing and my caterpillars are hungry, this will be good for that later. Over here, we've got my basil. The basil is doing really well. You're supposed to put basil in front of your house for prosperity and, you know, like energy. What is basil good for? It's like clean. They call it holy basil. The gardenia is losing its leaves. It got plenty of water, but I think it's just getting darker during the day, so it's losing its leaves. The azaleas came with the house. Over here, you can see it's growing in, but there's a dead spot over here and a dead spot over here. I think 2 years ago, there was a huge, like this whole thing was brown. So I snipped like inch by inch. I would bend it like this. And then if it snapped off, then I was like, okay, it's dead. So it's been growing in really well. But anytime my parents ever see this, they're like, remember that time you cut a giant hole in our plant? I was like, no. It took me like 2 hours to very carefully remove the dead part so that the new stuff could grow in. And they don't understand. So whatever, it is what it is. And then back here, some more mints that I was talking about. These were all just seedlings I ripped out of the ground and put in some dirt, and they liked it. Our fig tree, which my dad cuts down to the ground every single year. So we have a fig tree every year, but no figs because he's stupid. I'm just kidding. No, that's true, but whatever. We've got milkweed, 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 and milkweed over here, and then they're dying. So I think the important thing to remember with milkweed is that it grows as a root, and everything on top is kind of like tertiary. So the root grows, and then during the winter, the whole plant turns brown and dies, and then it keeps growing underground. And then next year, it grows back stronger, and there's more roots, which makes more plants. So I don't really mind that my garden is dying, because I know next year in the spring, it's gonna be even bigger and better than ever. So say goodbye to the garden. What a sad chopped up milkweed garden. That whole thing was just like absolutely a forest, and now it's just like there's barely anything left. So let's go bother my kitty. Hi, kitty. She's like, I'm sleeping. Can you not bother me? This is the mama, and then there is a daddy and a little baby kitty. And this cat particularly I see the most. Then I see the kitty next, and then I see the other father. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to show you guys. I am over the moon. I'm over the moon. I've been wanting to do this for months. I had to order the certificate, and then I had to wait weeks for the certificate to come. And then I was like, what the hell? There's no sign. And I realized that you had to buy them as a package. So I had to buy the sign, and then I had to wait for the sign to come in the mail. And I hung it up, and I brought the plants over there, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And my parents aren't gonna complain that I'm taking over the backyard. So anyways, there's a little community in the park, and they support me. And again, I paid real money to register and get the certificate. So my stuff should not be disappearing. And then there was even someone who was talking about like, oh, if you just get some plastic, you can make like a little greenhouse. I was like, yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I love it. So don't forget to plant native milkweed, plant host plants. Just plant a garden. Oh my God. If you don't have a garden, start with something easy. If you can't, milkweed is literally the easiest plant to grow because it's drought tolerant and it won't die if you don't water it. But if you don't want to do that, grab some basil, grab like a little mint. Mint is also easy, but basil is probably the easiest. And people use it the most. Like, I like my mint, but I don't use it. And for the sage, you can burn it. So it's like you don't even have to do any, you don't have to eat it. You can just let it dry out and then light it on fire and run around the house with it, because that's what smudging is. All right, now I'm just rambling. So love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Have a fantastic day. Butterfly Square Garden, Jason Sebastian. Like and subscribe and comment. Bye.